brulee, ice-crusted, snow-dusted, flat and white, all flat and white, but the black teaspoon pool carved out of the flat and white, and the two swans floating headless in the black interruption of the wide, fat white, so flat the light, the way clouds hover on the surface of the night, white interruptions of the black so bright, long alien necks and black-trimmed beaks, deleted by the surface of the water, opaque and hard, obsidian mirror, too black for sight, reflecting back the night, an aberration in the flat and white, bare arms of birches splayed spasmodically, stripped sycamore spindles grasping up with barky fingers, long and white fingers stark and straining tight, reaching into the black night, the lack of light, and the ashes bending low almost to scrape the powdered snow under the weight of meaty white, weighty might, wet bark black as backless night, with clouds upon it floating like swans with necks, birch branches bright below the mirror depthless height, out of sight, pierces flat and endless white with voidy, timeless lack of light, and all of it so still. This one's called Death of Bucephalus, which is the name of Alexander the Great's horse. If you have questions about any of the other references, just talk to me after the show. Let me find it. Here it is. Death of Bucephalus. The reason why I crashed the car I named for Alexander's horse in the pre-dawn gray at age 16, not drunk, not high, music off, windows down, phone full of half-finished poems on the passenger floor, sleep deprivation default, standard with the kilt and blazer, compromised only by the thought loop consuming me at the intersection of scholarship and obsession. He, too, is Alexander, said Alexander, almost certainly drawing a parallel, if I'm reading Plutarch right, to Patroclus, known mostly as the lover of Achilles, no matter how many of my half-finished poems praise his kill, count, and compassion. And Aeschylus and Plato debated how they made love, not whether. So if Hephaestion too is Alexander, then what does that say about the necklace I'm wearing, one half of a pair I had specially made, which says Jonathan loved David as his own soul? What is the meaning of a blinking yellow light? Hungry for any primary source material on myself, I'll settle for secondary, lost fragment. The line between ancient wisdom and contemporary ignorance shifting, like the line where shoulder becomes neck, shifts with the snap of the seatbelt, the horn, the clash, the border war between the friendship you dreamed of and the love you can't have, between the first head-on collision and the second. Academically curious if I'll go to heaven, if heaven will be what John dreamed of, walking on the beach at Patmos, tragically unkillable, his whole body a scar, waiting to melt into his beloved the way I do when mine pulls me into a dark classroom when I'm spitting out against the wall beside the door where we won't be seen, just holding, being held, not letting go, tension leaking out until my airbags inflate, and I come to rest on the shoulder that is not the road, but isn't not the road. My engine in front of me on the street, looking at it outside my body, uncomprehending. Like John, illiterate, peering over his scribe's shoulder at a word he guessed was his own name, saying, leave it, just call me the one he loved. Do I have time for a third one? Oh, don't worry about it. If you want to find me, talk to me after the show, or I'm usually at the Music Inn on West 4th Street on Tuesday nights. There's open mic there. And this costume, I brought real holy water. If the audience wants a blessing. Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah. That's something that hot people do when they read poetry. Get home safe, everybody!